See the smile behind my mask, how long will it last? Stimulus going fast, government won't act, how long will this be going on?
This is Skye, your soulful progressive with FNN-Feminist News Network, that feminist news that's right for you. Welcome to Skye in the Apapui Room, giving you that soulful news you need. Yes, indeed. And if you haven't told a friend to like and subscribe and get that soulful news that soulful way, well, baby, you better let them know they can get it today. And what is it I want to talk about? What is going on? Yes, I'm talking about still the Cornell West with the Ben Dixon crew going live, talking about what is going on. And this one guy, Mondale, he messed it up when Cornell West set him straight on forced to vote. That's right. And what is it really about? Well, let Mondale put it down and Cornell set it straight, and then we're going to talk about it, because I'm getting to the meat of this matter, because forced to vote is what can help reparations too. Dig on this. Now watch.
Folks going out there and getting killed for this, and what I'm saying is that if they want us to sacrifice ourselves, I'm going to yield to Marcus's and Mondale's idea, because if y'all want us to be willing to die for something, it ain't going to be as a result of what's the angry vitriol that's coming from white progressives, because y'all have a history of abandoning us at the last second. If you really want us to charge up that hill, reparations first.
Well, that makes sense. But you keep in mind, anytime you talk about loving something or living and dying for something, it ain't got nothing to do with white folk. It's the black suffering is a point of reference. The black freedom struggle sets the standards. You see what I mean?
Amen.
The black ways of being in the world is what sustains you.
Amen.
So it ain't got nothing to do with the white normative gaze, ain't got nothing to do with Brother Dore, ain't got nothing to do with the white left at all. It has to do with how do we be true to what has gone into us to enable us to be the best given the hell that we have caught in the past and the hell that we catching now. So in that sense, you know, it's important to keep our lens in place here. You see, when they shot Martin down, it ain't got nothing to do with his sacrifice for white folk. It's because he loved black people, and anybody who deeply loves black people in the white supremacist civilization got to get ready for character and literal assassination. There is no escape, because white supremacist civilization doesn't allow that escape. And so you go down swinging in that way, but it still has to be articulated in relation to inside, outside. It's got to be articulated in relation to what you gain and what you lose. Yeah. I know that I was talking much too much on that.
No, man.
But
Hey, man, hey, listen. Dr. West, let me tell you something. Even if we disagree with you, we enjoy listening to you. Shoot.
No, but
Marcus Mondale,
y'all got some powerful points here, though. There's no doubt about it. No doubt about it.
As if me telling AOC and the rest of the squad that if I need you to jump out of a plane without a parachute and land on your feet, or you ain't really progressive. The likelihood of you landing on your feet and jumping out of a plane without a parachute is the same likelihood as forcing the vote. And that was my only problem with it. The realization that it cannot happen. And we as people that are fighting for people that have nothing in this society that has everything, is to believe that we can do things that are impossible, or waste time on things that are not possible, is a bad strategy for me, especially when we have so many real things that are abstract to fight for. And I felt like some of the people that were behind forced to vote had true desires that they were fighting for Medicare for reasons like you just articulated, for all the reasons you articulated. Right. I felt like the ones that, the movement was started out of haste, and also out of the idea that I can get a blue check behind this on social media, or I can get more followers in a way to enrich myself. I felt like people were saying to those at the beginning of it, hey, check this out. This is not a valuable strategy. We could do this in a way that makes sense, and it begins with primary You're not going to see anybody's hand on forcing the vote, because what's going to happen is when you force the vote, no Democrats are going to be on board. So you actually don't force the vote. You're not going to know any new information about who does and do not, who don't. Let me say it like my folks say, who don't and who do support Medicare for all. I like when AOC is writing, long articles against Nancy Pelosi and the power structure, talking about how they try to ostracize her. That is a role. That is absolutely the role that she was elected to do, not just by folk in her district, but the monies that supported her from across this country. So I hear that, and that is a role that they signed up for, and I think they're willing to take that role. I just think that they're not willing to fight
Impossible fights.
Well, I mean, it's not even. It's not even. To me, it's not even a fight. Simply because it can't happen. Like, it can't happen the way that the House is set up. And I felt like people were lacking on the how of the House. And because we live in a democratic society, we should be screaming about why forced to vote isn't a reality. And I think that's an argument I can easily get behind. Why we can't do forced to vote. Rules that govern the House are not democratic. They create space that looks almost like desperate positions.
Mm-hmm. And see, that needs to be exposed too. I mean, if, for example, we had raised reparations as a central issue, and it exposed the degree to which so many of the progressives, especially the white progressives, might be leaning toward lip service, but publicly would never want to be associated with it.
That's right.
See, that to me, that provides a certain kind of illumination. It's still symbolic because it ain't getting nothing to the ground. I understand that, though, But every movement for poor people, it always begins with what's impossible.
What's impossible?
Absolutely. I mean, Sun Ra used to start every concert, right? Black people have tried everything possible. Time for us to try the impossible.
That's right.
Come on with my mothership. Let's go. He got that before George Clinton did. But the impossible simply means you're looking outside of the box, looking outside of the framework. You're trying to think in such a way that you're not inscribed within a narrow vision of what's possible. And what utopian energies are. It shatters the context in which people find themselves. So 244 years, is it possible to break the back of white supremacist slavery tied to an capitalist economy? Well, Nat Turner and then Gabriel Bros did say, well, it might look impossible. We're going to try it anyway. Well, Haiti did it. Hey, there's something from Tucson in them. They got something going on down there. And so I'm upset. So I'm actually, really appreciative of you all making these powerful arguments. I wish that we had more time to have able to talk these kinds of things out, because when Brother Marcus called me and so forth, I hadn't thought about a number of these formulations, you see. But I tend to want to be on the side of those who are trying to expose a lot of the limitations of the system. And that doesn't mean that you don't have an appreciation of your comrades on the inside. But I have a deep suspicion of politicians across the board. I don't care who they are.
But that's a survival mechanism.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Born out of experience.
You ain't lying.
Hey, Doc.
And I know you heard that. The impossible must be tried. I don't care on what legislative side, but most definitely the progressives and the progressive candidates that claim to be representing their constituency. Well, your constituency wants you to force that vote. Your constituency says it is possible. And Ben Dixon and Cornel are right. If you attach reparation to it, if you can get the black people into it and bring them into it with reparations to force the vote, to primary those that are not for it, then we're really talking. And then that will strengthen the resolve for forced to vote and get reparations, because one is with the other. They go hand in hand, and they said it, my man. Now, if you agree with that, leave those comments. If you agree with that, leave those comments below and let me know at FeministNewsN at gmail.com. Don't forget to like and subscribe to that YouTube channel and that Facebook page. And remember, I'm that Soulful Progressive one on Twitter. Got that rant of the day on Blogger. Check out the new ones. And I'm also on Patreon if you want to check that out. But thanks, News Crew, for joining in and subscribing, friends. Tell all your friends and let them know. And check out more of those videos, because I've been predicting the word on what's going down for a long time. And brothers like Cornell West have said it and made it right where you can understand it. And we do not give up hope. And we do not stop doing the impossible, because if we didn't march, if we didn't do what we did, we wouldn't have what we have, and we deserve to have a lot more. So we deserve to get out there a lot more. Now, we ain't going to instigate, but we need to set them straight. All right. Now, remember, in this era, hey, you got to participate, because we cannot allow insurrection all over the place. We got to get what we want by demonstrating that we can do it in a peaceful way. All right. Now, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Peace.
See the smile behind my mask. How long will it last? Stimulus going fast. Government won't act. How long will this be going on? I'm standing here in line, struggling with my time. The people just keep lying.